Hey there, friend. How you doing? Welcome to Soulvine. This is Jamie. We're going to check in today a you versus them session just to see where the dynamics are at, whether you want to put them as masculine, feminine energy. Let's just check in and gain some guidance here so we can kind of see what's going underneath it all and any advice that you need to know. So we'll start with the masculine or your other party energy, subject to what you are or how you connect. All right. Let's just get started. For our Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising will be the most dominant. So look at where they're currently at. The Hanged Man. We've got the Empress energy. So this is for the masculine. And Page of Cups. So this energy in particular, there could be something on hold or a little bit of standstill approaching the divine feminine right now for the masculine and wanting to connect, make an offer. They obviously see you as, someone who is quite divine, beautiful, creative, like someone who's at the top of their game, I don't know if you already have a relationship or in relationship with this energy or person, but what it does feel like is that they're still reflecting on something perhaps. So I don't know if this is a little bit of a pause or time down. It doesn't mean there's a disconnection, but could be. I just feel like there's a lot maybe going on behind the scenes at the moment for the masculine on this dynamic. So I feel like someone wants to approach, wants to express something to you. And maybe right now, especially if they see you as their divine counterpart or someone who is quite significant in terms of where you are at in your life, there could be, and we'll see on the other side, they just could be feeling right now that they don't have enough to give you, and maybe that's what they're looking at. But there could be an expression of interest, or they've expressed some interest in you, so you may know that they're interested, but again, they're also, I think, reflecting right now on this situation, on your connection, or even approaching you. Let's have a look how the divine feminine's feeling. So we've got the King of Cups. Got the Chariot. One more, thank you, Spirit. Oh, gave us two more. The Ten of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. So it seems like the divine feminine wants to move forward with this connection, recognizes, their feelings towards the masculine. But what's interesting is that the feminine is showing the masculine energy. So it could be maybe the feminine is being more, not that they're not expressive, but held back. And the only reason I say that, even though the King of Cups is quite devotional and has deep feelings, they may not express it the same way as a feminine energy, but action-wise, it's like they want to move forward because of how they feel. And in terms of that as well, maybe there is a lot of emotions going on underneath for the divine feminine, but like I said, it's trying to keep staying poised, staying connected, staying cool, calm, with this, but wanting to just move forward. And there's a pressure with this. And we have seen of late too, that if the divine masculine, we've just been seeing it in the energy of late in respect to counterparts or connections that just seem to not be progressing perhaps at the speed or rate or what you may have initially anticipated that it would be going. So some form of expectation. And I feel here right now there is a little bit of pressure on maybe what to do, on where to put the energy, the time, the effort for the divine feminine, because they do want to stay in their feminine energy, but there's a little bit of wanting to maintain control of the emotion and but wanting to drive it forward at the same time is what it feels like. Let's have a look at how the divine masculine is viewing the divine feminine. How does the masculine view the feminine right now? So we've got 6 of Cups, the Fool energy. I think there's a couple of fun things here with this 6 of Cups, the Fool energy and strength. And what I mean by that is that there's some place here where the masculine could be really wanting to assess or trying to assess as part of how they look at you. I think one, in terms of a true soul connection, but also two, you may bring this childlike energy within them. It's kind of like, you know, when you meet someone, there's kind of that teenage, fun, lovey feel to it. And even if they are held back right now, it's like they do want to jump forward, but it's also like they're trying to maintain control within themselves with this strength energy. So that's quite interesting of the masculine. They feel like they want to jump in, but I think there's a little bit part of holding back, or also having, you know, the courage to step forward here towards you. Let's have a look at the divine feminine and how they view the masculine right now. We've got enough here. So we've got Queen of Pentacles, 2 of Wands, and 2 of Cups. You know, I feel like the feminine recognizes that they are very suited, nurtured, feel connected, feel at home here. That's how they're viewing the masculine right now, or the potential of that, something in a place that can build. But the feminine right now could also be like, I'm going to focus on myself and my work and my current place of where I'm at. But they do want to make plans here. They do, you know, the divine feminine is feeling in aspects of, what does our future look like? Are we making plans in commitment together? Are we moving this forward? So I do feel there is a connection here, and this is how it's feeling, that the masculine's a little bit held back and the feminine is here and present. So again, it's trying to understand why this is not intersecting the way forward, and it's putting pressure on the divine feminine here, leaving her a little bit unsettled. But I feel ultimately, you know, the feminine is secure within herself, but really looking at it at the same time is masculine. Where's the plans? Make the plans. Let's make plans. Are we doing this? Let's move forward. And that's what this really feels like here. What action is the masculine going to take? You know what? First I'm going to say, what's the masculine hiding here? What's the masculine hiding? Thank you, Spirit. Okay. So we've got the 2 of Swords, the Moon energy, the Hierophant, and the 9 of Swords. So they're feeling a little bit protective right now of this commitment, and it could be of self, right? There's something here that is I mean, the Moon energy, as we know, is something that where it's intuitive. It's Cancerian energy, also Piscean energy, feminine energy, but it's also sometimes things that they're trying to look at, and I shouldn't say they look at, but usually it's parts of us that we're keeping to ourselves that we're trying to reflect on, and it seems like there's something about this commitment or this partnership here that is worrying them. I'm not sure exactly what that is, guys. We'll try and unpack some more. But there's a little bit of protective energy, or an energy of where to go with this. Let's have a look at the feminine in terms of what's being hidden here. I don't know if there's a connection that's being hidden. I am going to unpack this more, but let's just have a look at the feminine for now. Got the Nine of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Four of Cups. Yeah. So, I mean, this is kind of a repetitive energy for the week, but it feels like, you know, the feminine is in a good place. I think there is something that feels really good about where the feminine is at, how they feel emotionally, trying to stay connected and balanced, even though they want to drive this forward and take action, and they're feeling the pressure right now. But ultimately, the pressure is the masculine, you know, really interested? Are they really interested? Should they be investing? Should they not be investing? Is the masculine, you know, connected? I feel just like I'm just seeing a question mark here that's coming up underneath for the feminine, because I think there's some reflection like, well, I feel this, you know, feels good. I feel like there's a connection here. So like what's going on? Like, are you not interested? Why aren't you presenting? You know, maybe there's a little bit of, they come forward. Maybe they do show significant interest. And then I'm not sure where it goes after that, right? So, yeah, there's just a little bit of push-pull energy, which I think is a bit frustrating for the divine feminine, which then puts them in a place of, what do I do with this, you know? Do they not value how I feel? Do they not want to accept, you know, what we have here? Because I feel with this energy, the feminine feels it's good. And most of you are probably divine feminine here. I'd say a large percentage. What I like for the feminine is they actually feel quite good within themselves, but there's doubt there because of the way the masculine's showing up. The masculine, you know, is showing depth, but not, is internalizing depth, but not showing it fully. We can see here that there's a little bit of challenge for the masculine. Where do we see this connection going? Where do we see this connection going? Okay, so we've got the financial constraints, patience, storm warning, and garden at the gate. I think we had this for these two energies earlier this week, but so look, there could be right now that, again, someone's not feeling fully secure here, which you can see is mostly the divine feminine. And what I mean secure is the way somebody is showing up. But I do feel it's being a bit mirrored in different ways. I do feel parts of this right now that there could be some financial element to each of you of wanting to, you know, maybe stabilize your own finances or your own place of like financial security, but also your position in this connection, understanding what it is, because right now, because of the timing or because of the distance or because of something here with this patience energy, which is kind of like a temperance energy, it's also causing a little bit of internal disturbance. And we can see it in different ways for the masculine and the feminine with the Nine of Swords and the Four of Cups. And it's a little bit of a waiting game right now. So you may not be seeing this energy or this connection really pushing forward. But I do feel there's a little bit of waiting in between in terms of some action. Let's have a look at the advice for the masculine. What's the advice for the masculine energy? come out, I'll just take it. So I've got the Two of Cups, the Creator energy, the Fool, and the King of Wands. So you may be dealing with a fire sign here, or the masculine itself is a fire sign. Just then I was talking to the Divine Feminine about them being a fire sign. But yeah, this energy is interesting because we have the Creator energy. And I feel like the masculine, a big piece is wanting to step forward in this connection in truth and in true understanding of what this is. They're not an energy that's just going to dive on in. This matters to them, obviously, from the way that this energy is showing up. And I feel right now that they want to get it right. They really want to get it right. They feel it and acknowledge it. And I'm just getting a sense here that the masculine is kind of being called right now to step forward, to claim what it is and who it is that you desire. But again, it's standing in like for the masculine to stand in their truth of what they want, but also to present that too. So if you want something masculine, are you also that? Are you also giving that? So just be mindful. I just feel like they have a little bit of fear underneath right now. What's the advice for the Divine Feminine? So Queen of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. So you got the counterparts here again, the King and Queen of Wands. I feel you're kind of being asked here to stay nurturing yourself, stay and embody, your beautiful, sexy energy, and keep creating and staying focused on the things that matter to you. I do feel right now that that's a key element, taking care of you and applying your energy and time to give to this is what you're receiving. I feel like that's going to be important, but it's okay to express interest, show interest is how it feels. What I'm sensing here, sometimes it's also creating those rituals and sometimes also creating space for yourself to give the energy to, right? It's kind of, I don't know if you've heard about black cat energy. And there's something about that coming on in, which is making sure that you know who you are as well. And it's not like we need to fawn to the masculine, but also too that you can do it and show the overflow in how you feel, but showing versus, to the capacity of what you're also receiving. So I think there's just a little bit, I think at the end of the day, just be yourself, right? Because I think being yourself and showing up who you are in a connection, at the end of the day, if it's reciprocated in terms of, this is where I feel I need to be for you and them, then it's just a beautiful thing. If you have to be someone else, then that kind of sucks. I don't believe in playing games and stuff like that in terms of connection, but I do understand the initial phases. It's a little bit of a suss out, right? On who they are, who you are, subject to where you're at in terms of this connection. But it just feels like a bit of a newer energy that you've connected to, Pisces, or are navigating. And I think, like I said, a key part is what do you want? Where do you want to grow? Where do you want to build? And by focusing on that yourself, I feel like there's, this beautiful emotional connection that just keeps evolving. Let's get it just a little bit more on the masculine here, around what these things that they're experiencing, that with a little bit of stress around this connection. Okay, Ace of Materials with the Two of Inspiration. So there could be something financially on how to give to this connection. The Ace of Materials too, maybe they're also waiting for their own blessing to come on in around their finances. I don't know why. I am just getting a bit of a strong energy. The masculine's trying to figure out their financial position right now and looking at also how to stabilize this connection and how to make plans and work towards it. So yeah, you may be noticing a little bit of not as openness or transparency around, you know, maybe those conversations if you are having them. But I do feel like that if they are expressing anything right now, that's what they're trying to navigate. They're trying to navigate and a little bit of this Nine of Swords energy of how do I secure this connection and provide a stable ground to build on? Because I see what is here, I see what's in front of me. So what do I need to do about it? Because again, this Two of Inspiration can be about making plans, but it can also be about procrastinating, right? Not taking the full step forward. Because the Three of Wands is usually where it's like, okay, I've got the plans in play, I'm going to go after it. So there's still this in-between right now, which is on the masculine's mind, is what it seems like. And let's get more on this Four of Cups as well. So I've got the Seven of Emotions and the Justice. And I think this is just how it is for the Divine Feminine. It's just, the Divine Feminine doesn't want to think about where they're at with this connection. They just want to know. Right now, it's like they're looking at the potential options or thinking a lot about this connection, but just wants to be at peace with it, just wants to be at balance with it, just wants to be in harmony with it. But I feel the masculine right now, you need to give the Divine Feminine a little bit more clarity. I mean, you could say in both ways, but we can see here the Divine Feminine is open, is feeling, and wants to show up and wants to move forward, where the masculine seems like they want to do the same thing, but I don't know action-wise if they're actually getting into it, because we're kind of sitting here with a little bit of held back energy. So I really hope that gives you some guidance on both sides and kind of what's going on right now. There does seem to be a little bit of fumbling with words, and I wonder if that's part of the issue. There could be some replaying of energy through the masculine's mind right now in how to communicate or open up or present something. And it's not because they're lacking their masculine vulnerability or you know, I think just stepping into it. I think a big part of it is in their season of life, when they commit, they commit. And I think this is a big piece to the puzzle. Maybe they're looking at, is there something they don't know? Is there something they still need to learn? Is this connection, is this true about how I'm feeling? And should I just step all in? Because they feel obviously some connection here. They recognize there's a strong connection. But again, they want to get it right as well. So the masculine wants to step in and is being more thoughtful and methodical in approach, where the Divine Feminine is feeling it and recognizing it. But you both know that there's a very strong connection here. I think it's just navigating the next steps or the next part to really, you know, secure this connection in the right direction. So you both feel safe and supported in what that is. So I think just right now, you know, someone here could be really focused on their finances or how to give to this to really stabilize it as well. So just be mindful of that. Sometimes how we see things or look at things may not be exactly, you know, what's going on, but we may feel an underlying energy of something. Is there something going on? But we may be pinpointing it to something that is not actually there, if that makes sense. So maybe you might be worried if they're interested, but what they're focused on is how do I provide for, you know, or I don't feel like the masculine may be feeling I'm not in a fully secured place right now in terms of where I want to be financially or with their work or, you know, something of that nature. And the feminine might be feeling, oh, I don't know if they're interested in me. Maybe they've got options, or maybe, yeah, they're just, I don't know, something else is going on, right? So it's funny how we can all operate differently and think differently. But I just feel like there's a big sense right now of a little bit of sussing out, but I do feel you will break through this. But it just may take a little bit of time, that's all, in terms of the masculine and feminine finally just stepping face to face with each other and acknowledging, you know, their feelings and what they both want and getting both on the same page where there's freedom in it. So I'm going to leave that with you. I'll speak to you later. Bye.